We did have player availability with LSU a day ago. We played our one-on-one with Trey'Dez Green. Barion Brown, Ashton Stamps, Bernard Gooden all met with reporters. Barion Brown has been one of the stars of this camp, and it's so interesting because Barion Brown was at LSU in spring, and we did have media availability in the spring. It's just so interesting that Barion Brown, I can go back and look at my notes and in my spring practice reports, but he wasn't the guy that was getting a lot of attention in spring football. But my goodness, as he popped off here in this fall camp. He wears number 6. He flies. It's basically every practice he's beaten somebody over the top for a big play. And Nussmeier and he have developed a really good rapport here in this fall camp. And Barion Brown did mention to reporters what his time has been like so far at LSU.
What's your time at LSU been like so far?
Man, amazing. They just took me in like a child. So, man, I love the teammates, coaching staff, cafeteria ladies, janitors. Just everybody in general, it just feel home, and I just feel like it was a great place to be. Happy I made the decision.
I believe he is over the moon being at LSU. I want to remind you that Barion Brown, as a freshman at Kentucky, caught 50 passes for 628 yards. He also returned a kickoff for a touchdown. He was a freshman All-American. As a sophomore, he went from 50 catches down to 43 catches, but he returned 3 kickoffs for touchdowns. Then last year as a junior, he went down to 29 receptions. So he went from 50 to 43 to 29. I mean, that's what happens when you've got Brock Vandegrift throwing you the football. So he comes to LSU, and this is a place where Aaron Anderson returns, your leading receiver from a year ago. Xavier Thomas is back. Trey'Dez Green is back. They bring in Bauer Sharp. You got Kyle Parker hanging around. They bring in Nick Anderson via the portal as well. Y'all, there's only one ball. And so if I'm Barion Brown, I'm looking around. I would be looking around going, man, would you go somewhere where you're going to be like the guy or the only guy? But the other side of that coin is if you go somewhere where you're the guy or the only guy, you're also getting all of the attention. Now, what if he gets 5 targets a game and catches 4 passes for 50 yards a game, which I think is certainly doable for Barion Brown as an average. So you're talking about a guy that then statistically looks more like he did as a freshman on a team that has a chance to win a championship. Makes a lot of sense. I think Barion Brown's going to be a guy that it will be impossible to miss when LSU plays Clemson week 1 because 6 will be on the field and he will be running safeties straight out of the back of the end zone and Nuss will be looking for him deep, and they're going to be exciting to see. The flip side of that, of course, also is the defensive backfield. And Ashton Stamps is a guy, if I had to pick who I think the starting corners will be snap 1 against Clemson, I would tell you Ashton Stamps and Mansour Delane. Stamps is a 3-year player. He got thrown into action a bunch as a freshman on that awful defense in 2023. A year ago, got picked on a lot because teams went away from Zy Alexander, so they went at Ashton Stamps. So statistically, when you look at pass breakups and things like that, he kind of stuffed the stat sheet because he was picked on a bunch. But he was steady. I don't think anyone's is going to mistake Ashton Stamps for freshman Derek Stingley or senior Tre'Davious White or junior Morris Claiborne or anything like that. I'm not telling you this is a guy that's going to win the Thorpe, but could Ashton Stamps this year look like Jark Bernard Converse did in 2022 in Brian Kelly's first year? A guy that's played a lot of football and is just a very steady player. I think that's very realistic. Stamps was asked the difference. This is number 2, Alondra. The difference from his freshman year to now, and considering this is a guy that's basically played a ton of football over these past couple of years, now as a veteran on the team.
Coming, since my freshman year, going to my sophomore year, that was a big switch even from my freshman to sophomore year because, I came in, under the radar. I was a 3-star. I was the last, offer in my class. So coming in, the confidence may not have been, where it's at now. But I worked my way through it, even though I had, 2 different, position coaches. But going from my freshman year to my sophomore year, I just worked. I put my head down. And then, once I got into my sophomore year, it was more of I already, know like what goes on, like how to do it like the right way. So everything slowed down for me. I went on the field, I made plays, and then that's all it is.
He had 14 PBUs a year ago. So he's now played, Ashton Stamps has played in 24 games with 17 starts. I mean, he's now an experienced veteran player. And he had 14 PB. As a freshman, he had 2. He had 2 pass breakups as a freshman. Then last year, back as a sophomore, starting, he had 14, as I mentioned, because teams were effectively going away from Zy Alexander. So when you look at, at those pass breakups, Ashton Stamps had 14. The next closest on the team was Sage Ryan, who had 5. I mean, Whit Weeks, Braden Swinson, Jordan Gilbert, Devon Keys, they all had 3. Zy Alexander had 4. Zy Alexander had 4 pass breakups. Ashton Stamps had 14. Like, they were just throwing at him all the time. And he fared well. And so now you have a guy going into his junior year where he is confident, and you have a legit starter also on the other side in Mansour Delane, and you got a freakishly athletic 5-star in DJ Pickett coming in. There's a lot of reason to like that group. I know we talked about the practice report from Tuesday where the secondary won the day. And listen, there's a lot of times, there's a lot of days and reps where Aaron Anderson is beating Ashton Stamps or Barion Brown's beating Ashton Stamps. That's going to happen. I mean, that's just life of being a defensive back. But he's won plenty enough reps to deserve everybody's respect to be a guy that's likely going to be a day one, snap one starter against Clemson coming up 2 weeks from Saturday. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.